Hey guys, welcome back to the shop with Foster here. I got an extra special instructional video for you folks at home today. What we're going to do is show you how to put together your utility bench, the footstool that we make in class. And for those of you at home who haven't been able to come in and use all the tools, big props to the kids here who have made you kits. So if you come pick it up, you're going to get a kit that has all the pieces you need to put this together. Okay? So I'll show you the pieces. I'll show you how to do that. You come get your kit. Watch this video over and over. Like and subscribe if you need to. So you're going to pick up your kit and you're going to have some wood pieces in there, and you're going to have a Ziploc bag that's got 13 screws and 6 pieces of sandpaper. 13 screws because it takes 12 to do it, and if you lose one, then you're going to be okay. The wood pieces are this. You get a top. It's got a handle routed into it. You get 2 rails, and then you get 2 legs or 2 ends that have cleats attached to them so that we can put this whole thing together. The only tools you need are screwdriver. I recommend, if you've got a square drive, that's probably better, but a Phillips will work just fine. The screws that we use are 8x1 galvanized screws, and they're combination head, so you can use a square drive or a Phillips. I think square drive works better, is a little bit less likely to strip out. If you've got a drill driver, that's great. Use that with a square drive, that's fine. But you might want a long bit so that you can get down into that. So let's get into this. So the first thing you're going to do is take one of your rails and lay it down. The tricky part about this is that we have clamps here. We've got Jorgensen clamps that I'm going to use to hold these 2 pieces in place while I screw on this rail. You probably don't have Jorgensen clamps laying around. So a couple options. Other clamps would work. You could put, a C-clamp or something on there, and that would work. Or you got a friend, a neighbor, a parent, a sibling, whoever it is, who's got a little bit of patience and can sit there and hold this for you while you screw it. That's wonderful. Here we've got our Jorgensen clamp. So this is how we do it here. I'm just going to tighten this down on the leg. And one on this leg, and that way I don't have to have somebody standing there holding it for me. So this is the first step, putting the rails and the legs together. So I'm going to line these up more or less. I'm actually going to move this one back a little bit so it doesn't bump into my other clamp. Alright, we've got this board on here just so that it's stable. And then if you look at your rails, you've got these 2 lines, and that helps you to line up this leg on the side there. I'm a little bit off, it looks like, so I'm just going to twist this one. What I have here that would be a great thing is some sort of a square, so you can make sure when you get this on there that you're nice and square. Not necessary. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple screws in here. So I'm going to start one of these, and you got to give it some good pressure here. You really want these to lock in there. These are countersunk, so that 1-inch screw should be plenty to hold it tight. So now I'm lining it up. I'm double checking my squareness before I put that second screw in there. Nice and snug. We don't want to split anything out. Nice and snug. We did not drill pilot holes. If you had a drill with a little bit on there, that would be a great thing. So for this one, get that lined up, checking for square, right on it, a little pressure, and I'm just going to go, whoop. Make sure that will ensure that this won't split out and that my screw is going to go right where I want it. And then I just got to flip it over. I really only need help on this first part of the leg. Once I flip it over, it's steady. It is secure. Get these two on. I'm going to do this with my driver here just to make it a little quicker. Got my leg. Sometimes your eyes can deceive you. That's why the square is nice to have. Right there. But you've got the lines. Should be able to see that you're more or less on it. And then this last one, I'm going to get this first square started. You can see I got a little bit of tension in here, which is good. But I'm going to get that guy on there. Check for squareness. Get this guy going. One more. So once I get my rail on, now I've got the structure of this. It's pretty solid. Don't worry if it does that right now. I don't know if this is a level table, probably not, and things are going to change when I put the top on. So I take my top, set it upside down. The top side has a router here and a router around the edges. And then I just set this on there and I even it up. I could measure all these, but this is one of those things that's pretty easy to visualize. I can use my little measuring fingers and make sure I get that balanced on there. So if I'm using my long driver, I need a longer one because I can't really get in here to these screws very easily because of the size of this. So it's almost easier just using your screwdriver. So then this is the other half. Then you're just putting the top on. Again, good pressure down on it. Get it in and tighten down. Some of these tops have a little bit of warp to them. If you can kind of clamp this down to get it going, that's not a bad idea. It'll kind of flatten that out before you finish it. Alright, so speed this up. I'm going to do the rest of these with my driver. So again, I want to make sure, it looks like I kind of cocked this a little bit as I was fussing with that. What's going on? Doesn't want to fit in there. Is that the wrong size? Sure is. I got that wrong. Driver. Okay. We'll go back to this. Come in at a little bit of an angle, that's fine. It'll even itself up when it gets down in there. Alright, you're going to put all four of these in and then flip this guy up. Tighten everything up and then take your sandpaper. Start with the 80 grit. The smaller number is the bigger grit. And work your way 80 grit, 150 grit, or 120, and then end with 220. So you're trying to get rid of all of these machine lines. The router will leave a machine line, pencil marks, or any scratches on that surface. Once you get that all done, everything's all tight, then you can worry about it being level. So I can feel when I tip on these two corners, that means that the other two corners are a little bit higher. Maybe one of them, maybe both. So I feel which two they are, and then I'm going to mark it. This one and this one. So then I can take my 80 grit, or if you have something heavier than that, and basically I'm just going to smooth these out. I'm going to take a little bit off, and then I'm going to test it. Don't do it on something that you don't know is level. If you've got, countertop or a table or something, a section of floor that you know is level, do it there so that then you know in the end it's level. There you go. It's a beautiful bench. This is a traditional project Ballard students have been making these for years and years, and hopefully becomes a family heirloom for you. When you finish, take a picture, send it in to us, and we'll make sure that we post it for our friends at home. All right, if you got any questions, be sure to ask them. Let me know, and you can watch while we're doing this in class. But come pick up your kit, build yourself a bench. See you guys.